I'm a vapor. I'm not a vapor anymore, but I'm quitting vaping. Round of applause, I'm quitting.
An estimated 5.6 million people in the UK vaped in 2024.
5.6.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit embarrassed that I vape as well. So I've never put it online. I was going crazy and I actually just got my vape and smashed it.
He picked it up 3 times trying to break it and wouldn't break.
Yeah, I know.
Dogs sleeping on beds.
Sold.
It's not for me.
Sold, done it, do it 10 times over. I'll do it tomorrow if Jessie let me. I tried to be one of those boyfriends that were like, oh, go and get your nails done. Okay, go and get your nails done. Jessie was like, nah, I haven't got anything on. God knows what's going to happen when I have to get down on one knee and propose, and you're supposed to have a clean set of nails, and you just refuse.
Were you going to propose?
No. Welcome back to Agree to Disagree, the podcast hosted by myself, Will Young, and my beautiful, sexy girlfriend, Jessie Wynter.
So we're feeling super rejuvenated and fresh because we have just got back from a beautiful weekend away at the Lake District.
Yeah. And being the romantic boy I am, I actually did try. Well, I say try because Jessie can actually explain. I tried to surprise her with a trip away, a long weekend.
So the trip was for Valentine's Day, and Will had me convinced that he wasn't doing anything for me for Valentine's Day.
Yeah, I was like an evil genius, okay? So I would actually hands up, put myself down as a great surpriser.
You are really good.
I feel like I've surprised you on heaps. And normally I'm such a sucker because I'll have this holiday or something planned for Jessie and I just end up telling you, don't I?
You get so excited yourself that you just want to tell me.
Yeah, and I'm like, do you want to know? Because I'll tell you.
Will wrap me Christmas presents and be like, do you want me to tell you what's inside? I'm like, no, you're defeating the purpose.
But I was really good this time because I actually strung it out until the day we were leaving.
Yeah. So when Will didn't have anything planned for me for Valentine's Day, I can't lie. I was like...
She was moody. Jessie was pissed. And I knew she was pissed off because she was giving me a bit of the cold shoulder.
Yeah, well, I wasn't going angry at you or anything or vocalizing that I was pissed off. But I was like, come on.
I could tell.
It's our second Valentine's Day together and you're already at the point where you're like, nah.
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah, so I was stringing Jessie along and being like, because obviously we haven't got back from Australia too long ago, and I was like, oh, we don't really want to go away again, do we? Prodding the bear a little bit, and I was like, oh, we could just have a chill one, maybe cook some dinner, we can cook it together, and then watch a movie or something.
Yeah, and I actually was quite happy with that. I was like, that's fine, yeah, cool, we'll have a wholesome Valentine's Day. But then Will was like, yeah, we'll go to the gym in the morning on Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
And then I tried to go to the store to get ingredients for pancakes because I was like, oh, we can have romantic pancakes in the morning. And he's going, nah, just straight to the gym.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, okay, can't even have my own love heart-shaped pancakes.
I wouldn't let Jessie go to the shops, and she was fuming about that. And I think that
really got me.
That tipped you off the edge a little bit. But I was just but I had this. I knew what the plan was. And then when we got home, most underwhelming thing I think I've ever done.
Will surprised me. He actually filmed it. And I just said,
From 2 angles, can I say? I filmed it on our professional camera and then on the phone, and I couldn't use the content.
And he goes, oh, we're going away. And I'm like, oh, whatever. You're lying.
Yeah, she was like, you're lying. And I'm like, come on, am I going to get something? Am I going to get something out of you? I want you to crack a smile. I want you to be like, oh my goodness, thank you so much. I can't believe you did that. And I got nothing.
I genuinely thought you were lying because it felt like you had nothing prepared. So I was like, oh yeah, you're just saying that because I'm pissed off, trying to be funny. And I was like, I'm not in the mood for a joke.
Yeah. And then she just turned around and carried on making breakfast or something. And I was like, no, Jessie, we're literally leaving in 2 hours. You've got to get your shit together. You've got to get ready. And what's even worse, I tried to be one of those boyfriends that were like, oh, go and get your nails done. Okay, go and get your nails done. Jessie was like, nah, I haven't got anything on. Why would I get my nails done? And I was like, well, this is the most, God knows what's going to happen when I have to get down on one knee and propose, and you're supposed to have a clean set of nails and you just refuse. You go, no.
Yeah, well, I was like, we're not doing anything. Why would I get my nails? I'll let them continue to recover.
You need to snap out of that because that's a bad habit.
Okay, I genuinely thought you were not doing anything for me this Valentine's.
but that is-
You tricked me too much.
But what happens if I was actually going to get down on one knee and propose?
Yeah,
And you did,
well,
and I know
I'm glad
for
you
a
didn't because these
fact,
nails ain't cute.
I know for a fact you would have freaked out because of your nails.
Were you going to propose?
No. But I'm just saying, the near future is coming. One day I will be getting down on one knee and proposing when I never suggest. So maybe, and I'm trying to get in the habit of suggesting. So, who knows? Maybe the time that it happens, you're gonna be none the wiser. But maybe when I suggest, go get your nails done, just do it.
Yeah, but you did that for me on my birthday in the Maldives and I got them done really, really nice and I didn't get proposed to.
No, I know, but it's called, the unexpected. You can't know what's going to happen.
Okay.
No, but honestly, everyone back me up on this as well. I feel like, if I'm saying to Jessie, I think you should get your nails done, there's going to be a reason why.
So funny for me looking back on this because I obviously had no idea you were taking me away and you're like, get your nails done. I was like, he's got the ick from my nails right now. I was like, I know they're not like very crisp, but I was like, come on, like my own boyfriend's judging my nails.
Yeah, okay, but then we'll fast forward a little bit, and then I gave Jessie about 2 hours, and we went to the Lake District. We went to the lakes, people.
Oh, it was
and
so beautiful.
Oh my goodness, how was it?
It was so beautiful. So whenever we go back to Tasmania,
really pump up my ego with how good of a job
it was
I've done.
honestly, it was perfect. It was the perfect getaway because I was mentally prepared to just be relaxing. And this is exactly what we did on this trip. We could get in the car. We didn't have to pack like suitcases and worry about luggage limits, any of that. Got in the car, drove for 4 hours, got to relax. We had an Airbnb so we could cook our own food, which is really good for us because as you guys have heard, we love to munch.
Yeah.
So there's no breakfast buffets. So we weren't like going crazy at the breakfast buffet and putting ourselves in a food coma for the whole day.
Yeah.
We were cooking our own food, going for walks in the most beautiful scenic place. And I don't like the cold weather, but this is the one place where I was like, do you know what? I'm just going to bear the cold because it's so worth it.
Yeah. Well, Jessie hasn't believed. I'm like, the UK is beautiful. There are beautiful parts of the UK. And obviously where we live down south, it's just a very flat. And Jessie's not used to hills and mountains. And obviously down at the lakes, it was very beautiful, very hilly, very mountain. But I just want to take it back to something. I don't want to turn the trip onto a negative, but a couple of things that annoyed me.
Oh, okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Just for like, this will be like couples therapy.
All right.
With like future references.
What am I in for?
One thing, and this has got to be hella relatable. This car journey was 4 hours long. Jessie wants to sleep for 4 hours in this car trip. And I'm just like, look, I'm the one doing the driving. The least you could do is just keep me company.
The car makes me go to sleep.
Yeah, Jessie did. And I've actually got to the point now, if we're in a long car journey, I'm making up games to try and entertain Jessie so she doesn't fall asleep.
Yeah, so we were playing games so that I did stay awake and we were playing like which car would you want? And
Yeah.
then we were also playing like guess who's driving. That was actually really fun.
That was one of my favourite ones. Go and explain to everyone. So if you're in a long car journey, you can actually use one of these games one day.
Yeah, so you just had to guess who was driving. Was it a young person? Was it an old person?
Yeah, a little bit more descriptives though.
Was
So
it a
we-
family?
Yeah, so we were driving and we would be like, guy with a beard, glasses, family man.
Yeah.
And then you'd like drive by. Obviously, I'm driving, so I can't do too much of the peeking. But Jessie would look and then say if we're correct or not.
Yeah, I like had my head like fully looking at them, and the amount of people who looked at me like, "Why is she looking at me?"
Yeah,
but I just want to see who's driving.
Yeah, it's really, really fun. It's a really fun game. So if you're going on a long journey, do that. But obviously, if you do get the eye contact between the two, that's a little bit awkward.
And then we played a game where we just had to like sing and continue on each other singing. And
Oh my
I think
God.
Will wanted it to be like rap, but I changed it to country music.
No, actually, that's not true. So we were singing, and I felt like the song was representing me as the guy and Jessie as the girl, right? I don't know if we should do a little bit now, or it will.
No, we're not doing this. I can only be activated like that in the car.
Okay, but I
Country
was-
singer Jessie's only in the
So
car.
we would like sing a couple of lines and then switch. So I was like singing about this like country boy who's like met this girl, blah, blah, blah. And then Jessie would like come back and be like, but the girl doesn't love him. And I would be like, I'm like trying to sing and represent us both here. And I don't know if Jessie really got the gist, but I think she knew what she was doing.
No, I was just doing plot twists. It sounded too happy. I needed to keep it going. I needed some plot twists.
Yeah, but I was just like, I'm actually trying to represent us both here.
I didn't really catch that one. Sorry.
Oh, yes, you did. But it's a good game. Another one for the car. If you're bored, that's another one you can do.
And then I turned into a robot and Will got annoyed and we stopped playing any games because
Oh, yeah, go on.
I spoke like a robot for like half an hour and you didn't like it.
No, what was really annoying me about that? What
It was
were
the
you
fact,
saying?
okay,
Go
so
on, do it now.
no, I can't even remember how I was speaking because Will switched the robot off, okay? She's gone forever.
Yeah.
But I was being a robot and I was like, yeah, this robot's developed a sense of humor. So I was going, ha, 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 ha.
Oh my God, yeah, guys,
Okay.
I'm driving 4 hours and I'm just getting ha, 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 ha in my ear. I'm just like, turn off, switch off. And then she's like, robots annihilating all humans. And I'm like, what? Like, this is not soothing for me at all, driving.
Yeah, but then he let me go to sleep because I started to annoy him by acting like a robot.
Yeah, I was like,
so in the end, I got my
It's like,
way.
you can switch off and you can actually go to sleep now. And then she got upset because she thought it was rude that I switched the robot off. So that was only the few negatives. So there wasn't actually, I don't know why we've started the lakes off on the negative because in general, it was probably one of my favorite trips, like aside from like the beautiful ones like Maldives, Paris, anything like that. Like as a trip in itself, the way that we bonded, it was good. I had a good time. But one of my favorite things was these sausage rolls we found.
Oh my God, they were so good. I think, so in Ambletown, Lake District, sausage rolls.
Ambletown.
Is that how you say it?
I think it's like Ambleside.
Oh.
Ambletown. Okay, we stayed at the place where the house is on the bridge.
Yeah, it was really beautiful. There is a bakery called like Apple Pie Bakery.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. And these sausages are thick,
So
actual sausages
good.
in a sausage roll. And literally, we had one and then we left and we were like, oh, my God, that tastes so delicious. We need to get another one. And we did that like 6 times and ended up like just eating sausage rolls for the whole
But the
day.
thing is, we're only buying one at a time and then like strolling around and then the next. One of my favorite things from the trip was being away from the house because it's still under renovations.
And messy people.
It's very messy. There's a lot to do and we've been very busy. So it was so nice to get away from the house and just sit and relax. And like whenever I'm at home, I always feel like, oh my God, I could be doing something. I could be cleaning something. I could be working. However, when we were away, I was like, I can just sit and relax and breathe.
Yeah, it was. It was really relaxing. And it was just so still out there. I feel like we had a really good balance. We had a really good balance because we went for a 10K run, which we haven't done in over a year. So well done us.
Yay.
And then we did a hike as well, but it was balanced because after the hike, we got some food and we got a couple of drinky poos.
Will loves drinky poo, don't ya?
So do you.
Yeah, but not as much as you did this night.
Yeah, but I was
like,
I was feeling vibes. I thought I was in a ski resort. I thought we were outside. Music was pumping. Everyone was in their puffer jackets. One more bottle of Prosecco. One more, please.
yeah, so with this, I was fine to have a glass, but whenever Will goes to the bar, you always buy a bottle of Prosecco instead of a glass. Like every single time.
It's called being economic.
Yeah, but like if you buy the bottle, I'll be like, oh, let's finish the bottle before we leave.
Yeah, me too. I'm same frame of mind of that. I'm like, hell yeah. But I did actually I was like to Jessie, do you want another one? And she said no. So I did go to the toilet and come back with another bottle.
I knew you were doing that as well. I said to the people next to us, I'm like, I bet you any money he's getting another bottle. But we only had 4. I mean, is that a lot? But we shared with some other people.
Yeah.
And then we went home nice and early, which is good because look at us. We're
Balanced lifestyle.
maturing. Yeah. We're still doing our exercise. We're getting up early, but we can still enjoy all in balance. Is that the word I'm thinking of? Moderate. I don't know.
Moderation.
Yeah, that's it.
All in moderation. But I'm feeling a lot better because I'm going to confess something to you all now, which I've never confessed before. I'm a vapor. I'm not a vapor anymore, but I'm quitting vaping. Round of applause, I'm quitting. Okay, so I've actually never spoken about this online just because I think it's not good to promote bad habits.
Yeah, I feel like with vaping, I know a lot of people do it, but I just think it's not really something that you do want to put online just because, especially younger people, they're so impressionable.
Yeah, and it's shameful. It's shame. I'm a little bit embarrassed that I vape as well. So I've like never put it online, but now I feel like I can, be open and honest with all of you lovely lot listening and watching that I used to vape, but now I'm not. And I think it's a good way that I'm actually explaining this to you all, because then it will hold me accountable. I'm now held accountable because I've shared it to all of you, and I don't want to make you all disappointed if I get back on it again. But I'm doing good, I feel like. So I've actually tried to quit a couple of times. The first time
It's not been fun.
The first time was actually a year ago in Australia. And I vaped in Australia, and I actually got to a point where I lost my shit, people. I was like, this is disgusting. I was like, this isn't good for my health. Like, I was going crazy, and I actually just got my vape and smashed it.
Yeah, he was going
I smashed it. I honestly was losing my mind, and I was like, no, I actually can't do this anymore. Picked it up, chucked it on the ground, smashed it.
He picked it up like 3 times trying to break it and wouldn't break.
Yeah, I know.
But I was just like, so in Australia, vapes aren't as accessible. And that was one thing I was extremely surprised about when I actually moved to the UK. Because in Australia, you can't buy vapes at supermarkets. It blows my mind that you can go to Tesco and get like eggs and milk and bread and all that.
And your strawberry vanilla ice.
Yeah, you can pick up a vape.
Bloody whatever it is.
Like in Australia, if you want a vape.
It's illegal. I don't think you can, is it?
I don't think you can have disposable vapes. And I think if you want a vape, people have to go to you have to find like a vape seller. Like literally someone
like a dealer.
Yeah, like under the counter sells them.
Vape dealers, yeah.
So you can't access them. So when Will broke his vape in Australia last year.
Oh, I wasn't best. I probably wasn't the most pleasant person to be around.
Because you couldn't replace it either, which is good. But I was just like, why are you doing this?
Yeah. But I felt like last year I wasn't in a place where I fully was ready to quit.
But you did quit for a while.
I did quit for a while. Like I quit throughout Australia, but then when I came back home, I did have like a spare vape, so I slipped back into my like bad habits.
Yeah.
And I probably wasn't as determined to quit as I am now. So what I actually did this year, so I actually begun this journey before going to Australia, like 8 weeks ago. My God.
Yeah, you've done so well and your skin's glowing. You just ran 10Ks, which we haven't done for a long time.
8 weeks ago. So I didn't actually bring a vape to Australia because I knew it's just not accessible out there. And I feel like it's just in new surroundings and new viewings. I was like, I won't be thinking about it. Because when you're at home and you've got a habit and you actually subconsciously do this, like when you're at home, you will do something and then automatically do something else without thinking. And that was me like with vaping. Do you know what I mean? And when I got out of that house and I was like in Australia, it was all new surroundings. So I just kind of like snapped out of it and I didn't really think about it.
No, that's so good. And I'm honestly so proud of you. But you're right. Your brain just creates, it's like it's got little train tracks. So your brain subconsciously all the time is repeating the same thing.
Yeah, you just need to snap out of that.
It's those habits. And once you can kind of pick up on your habits, such as the habit of like picking up your vape, if you can like take note in your brain, oh, that's just the habit that I'm in, and break that cycle, change the train tracks, it's going to make it so much easier for you to quit. And I was so proud of you in Australia because I actually didn't think you were not going to bring your vape. And I thought you were going to like secretly pack a spare one in case.
And do you know what was teasing me a little bit? So I had leftover vape juice. I sound like a freak. But I had like leftover liquid in Australia and I was just seeing it and I didn't have a vape. So I just had to chuck it all out of sight, out of mind. But that was the break that I needed away from home to like, now I feel like I'm pretty okay.
So it's been about 8 weeks since you've quit. Can you feel any difference or notice any differences within yourself?
Yeah, I feel, people, I do feel healthier. It's not a joke. I actually do feel a lot healthier. Exercising is a lot easier. And do you know what the most frustrating thing with me was? With this vape, I was so reliant on it. It was like my dummy. And everyone who vapes, who's watching this or knows a vapor as a friend, like, it is that if you don't have your vape on you, you start freaking out, don't you? You're like, where is it? Like, I remember a time where I was like sleeping, well, not like, waking up, and the first thing on my mind was, where's my vape? Where's my vape? I'm
That's literally what he would say as well. Like, he would wake me up in the middle of the night and I'd be like, I'm trying to sleep.
I'm like, where's my vape? And then like Jessie will be asleep and I'm like grabbing the pillow. I'm like looking under the quilt and I'm like, where is this bloody thing? I didn't even particularly want a vape. It was just that like subconscious worry of where is it?
And it's like that nicotine. You're obviously addicted to nicotine.
Yeah. Obviously, yeah, which I've cut down a heap on. Which I'm just over the moon with because I was just like, I just got to a point where I was like so reliant on it and I was like, this isn't good. I'm a big boy age of like 25 and it's like my blankie as a kid. I like couldn't go without it anywhere.
Well, I think since you've quit vaping as well, seeing your motivation for fitness and exercise has been so much higher.
I feel like my motivation in general has been better. I've been feeling like a lot healthier. I was like getting to a point where I was feeling like a little bit sick in the morning as well, like a runny nose or a snotty nose. And I was like, I'm not ill. And since I've stopped vaping, it's like cleared.
Your skin looking glowing.
And I've seen this on TikTok as well. Of this, other people have had this where they're like, oh, like I'm vaping and they're just waking up ill, and then as the day goes on, it goes away, and it's like that repetitive syndrome. And then they were like, oh, when I stopped vaping, it like went away, and that like very similar to me. I feel a lot happier, a lot healthier, a lot more free.
I'm so happy for you though. No, I really wasn't sure if you were going to actually commit to quitting vaping because you said so many times, I want to quit. And, you know, I've seen you quit for a couple of days and then restart. But like you've actually really pulled through this time.
Yeah, so I am on nicotine gum. I'll hold my hands up. I am on nicotine gum. But the good thing is that I'm not vaping. I'm not smoking. The nicotine gum, I'm taking a lot less. So I'm like... reducing
you're reducing
the amount, so I'm not off of it completely. I'm going to be honest, we can go on this journey together. And hey, if you're watching and you want to quit vaping, do it now and we can do it together. And if you want, we can do like little like pop-in sessions of how I'm getting on. But I'm using the nicotine gum, which does really, really help.
An estimated 5.6 million people in the UK vaped in 2024.
5.6?
Yeah.
What?
I feel like vaping, when I came to the UK, I did realise how common it is.
Everyone vapes.
And I don't know if it's because it's so accessible. Like you can get vapes and stuff at Tesco's.
I don't know, maybe. Yeah, everyone does vape. And I feel like there actually is a big problem because we met a couple at the weekend who vaped and never smoked. So they were just around people. And that's kind of like how I got into it. You're just around people and then you go, oh, I'll have a couple of puffs on that deliciousness. And then you get hooked.
Yeah, well, when I actually came off Love Island, I had like a week or two where I just started vaping. And I don't even know why I did that because it's always been something that's never interested me. And I didn't enjoy it at all. So I just quit. But like, why did I even start that?
Yeah.
I don't know if it's just because they were about...
A lot of people do them.
Yeah,
if you look at people walking down the street, everyone's got a vape hanging out their mouth.
100%. Well, another statistic that was actually even more alarming for me is 18% of young people aged between 11 and 17 have actually tried vaping, and then 4.2% of them vape more than once a week.
Yeah.
So I feel like, and there's been a lot of times where I've seen really young people vaping.
Do you reckon it's because it's like a cool trend?
Maybe.
I don't know if it's cool. I reckon there was like a spike where everyone vaped. I actually obviously I turned it down, but a vape company came to me for me to promote vapes. They were offering really good money, but obviously I was just way against it, didn't go through with it. But how bad is that?
Yeah, that's crazy, especially if you've got a young audience because they're extremely impressionable, teenagers and whatnot. But I do think because like vapes, they're like cigarettes taste disgusting. Like, do you know what I mean? Cigarettes aren't nice tasting. They don't smell nice. But vapes like seem really harmless
like
because
treats.
they're like
strawberry
candy
Popeyes.
Flavored and stuff and they're colourful and they kind of look cute. However, it's not cute to vape. According to the research that I've done online, my little Google research, the main reason people's vapes are to help them quit smoking, to help them cope with stress or mental health, and just because they enjoy it. Do you think any of these apply for you?
I think I vaped so I didn't smoke.
Yep.
I think probably. Cope with stress. I felt like in my head, I was like, oh, I'm stressed, I'm going to have a vape. When in reality, like now, it was just a habit. It was just like little pots, like having a coffee, or after eating, I'd love a vape. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
It
like
was
those habits you created.
Those like habits and possibly with stress. I'm like stressed, I've got to go out for a cigarette or a vape. Do you know what I mean?
A lot of people say that vaping helps them with anxiety, but the fact is between when you have that dose of nicotine and when you have your next one, your anxiety actually increases in between.
Dopamine.
It does give you dopamine.
Releases. You're better at saying this.
Yeah, so when you do things such as like vape or have nicotine, it does release dopamine. And a lot of people with ADHD actually self-medicate with things such as nicotine because it gives them those high doses of dopamine in such a short amount of time.
Yeah.
So people with ADHD are actually a lot more prone to, perhaps start vaping or become addicted to nicotine.
We've got tips from the NHS of how you can stop vaping if you want to stop vaping.
And with this, we know like people tell you how to stop vaping and stuff like that. And it's like, oh, I already know that. Like we understand that quitting nicotine is so much harder than said. And it's so easy to sit here and talk about quitting nicotine. It's actually so much harder than this podcast will even be able to explain.
I'm living proof of it, baby.
But what we do want to do is just kind of put the information out there just to remind you guys. Keep reiterating it because maybe one day what happened with Will could happen with someone that you know that vapes or yourself, and you'll just get that random really big burst of motivation to quit. So
I think the most misconception of it as well is like, and I went through a period of it where I was like, I can stop if I want to, but in reality, I probably couldn't.
Yeah, you did always say that actually.
Yeah, I was like, I can stop when I want. I can stop if I want to. I just don't want to. But that's just the reality of probably being addicted to something.
Yeah. And so some of the tips to quitting vaping is firstly, this is really obvious, but lower the nicotine strength. So how Will did it, because you did it on your vapes, is instead of buying the disposable vapes, you can buy juice instead.
Yeah, so I just had like menthol and you could like pick your strength sort of thing. But reducing it is good. However, I just got into a bad habit. I like reduce it and then I would go up. So I'd like yo-yo. So I'd like make progress and then undo the progress. So for me, the easiest thing was just getting rid of like that habit of like inhaling and putting it in and out in the unsexual way.
Why are you going like this? Other tips we found on the NHS was try increase the times between each time you vape. Once again, I do think that's advice, but is it that helpful? I don't really know. And the next one, Will, you actually said this before. So creating vape-free spaces. So stop bringing your vape out with you or stop vaping in certain places. Or like Will, when he goes to Australia, that's a vape-free space. So I think that actually worked with you, that last one.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. Definitely does. I agree with that.
Some other tips would be to team up with someone you know. This could be a friend, someone online, or it can be Will here on the podcast.
Yeah, so honestly, if you want to stop, we can have this journey together. Email in and we can make this a section of the pod or needn't, just depends to all of your needs. But you can email in and we can get through this together.
Another thing is vocalize that you're quitting. So Will,
That's
once
what
again,
I've done.
Congratulations on doing that today.
Because I'm like, now I'm accountable from all of you.
Yeah.
So if I get back on it, I have to tell you and you can all call me a naughty boy.
Yeah, so Will, you can do check-ins online if that's something that you feel like. But also, I'm really proud of you for kind of speaking about this today because I know vaping's something you did want to keep off your social media. However, in this situation, I do think it is a situation that might encourage other people or help other people. Yeah. So I think like really good on you.
I didn't ever want to be an advocate for vaping and like put it on my social media so people saw it and they're like, oh, if I'm a Will smoke, so I'm going to do that. But now I'm going, vaping's bad, don't do it. Let's all stop together.
Next tip would be to stay busy and get into healthier routines, which is also something we've been doing since we've got back from Australia. Do you find our fitness routine and the kind of new lifestyle we've adapted to has helped with the quitting of your vaping?
Yeah, 100%. I felt like, if I do something like physical activity and I like wanted a bit of nicotine, if you do that in replacement, like, I don't know what happens, but you like forget it. You don't want the nicotine anymore.
Yeah, and I feel like one thing I've noticed you been saying is like how good you feel when you're exercising. Yeah. And it's like
I can breathe again, people.
And then the last tip is to celebrate your wins. So even if you don't fully go cold turkey and give up vaping, just give yourself a pat on the back, because even making that effort is such a good job. And know that we're really proud of you, and we know that it's difficult. And yeah, be your biggest supporter here. Celebrate your wins.
So while we were away on our trip, we actually did get into meeting a couple. Like, me and Jessie made friends on holiday, which was nice.
We always make friends though.
Yeah, we made friends on a holiday, and it was actually quite interesting speaking to another couple, because they kind of like represented us in a way. Like, there was this guy who wasn't very in tune with his emotions, and then he had a girlfriend who wanted to talk about emotions, and then they actually said to us they play this like sort of game, or they ordered these things off of Amazon, and this is going to be a little section we could possibly do every week or try and fit it in, but like a couples therapy. Me and Jessie are going to sit down and have a couple therapy session with you every week, possibly.
I think something that's like funny about our relationship is like, I'm actually quite emotionally closed off, and I feel like Will's the one who actually went and got these cards and stuff. So
I actually ordered them when we were out, and I was like, do you know what? I'm actually going to do that. I think that's a great idea for the podcast and for anyone at home. So these are just rethink conversation starters. So it's just going to give us some conversation starters, and I'll explain in a minute how it works. But when she was explaining that, I was just like, yeah, I did have a couple of bottles of Prosecco at this point, but I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to order them.
Okay, well, I'm scared for this because I don't like talking about my emotions, but yeah, this is the purpose of the cards.
So this is rethink conversation starters for couples, and there's basically 5 sections in it. So a heart-to-heart, forward thinking, memory lane, romance, and family tree. So we're just going to pick some at random today, and if there's any ones in particular you want to hear from next week for us to do, let us know in the comments below. All right, so I'm just going to take these by random. So this is romance. Yes.
And as well, something else we would love to do on the podcast, if you want to email it in or send us a DM, is we want to know the questions that you have for your partners. Any difficult conversations or questions that you have that you may not want to directly ask them. We decided we're going to throw ourselves in the deep end, and we'll ask each other those questions for you.
Okay, so there's 2 questions on the cards. And the first question is, what is the most romantic thing I've ever said to you?
The most romantic thing you've ever said to me?
Yeah.
You say like a lot of romantic things, I think. A lot of really like sweet things. I think like whenever you say something and you're not meaning to be romantic, like you say it like just in day to day, something about like how you can't wait for me to be the mother of your children. I think they're the most beautiful.
I do say that a lot.
Yeah, and sometimes you say it just in passing comment, and I just sit there, I'm like, oh, okay.
I would have to snap back Uno reverse cards you right now, because Jessie's never opens up like particularly about like having children and things like that. I'm always the one like being like, oh, like let's have children. Like, come on, let's have a child. So when you actually say it, it's a really nice. Is that romantic? I would say that's romantic.
Yeah, I think that's romantic.
Yeah, I love it when I hear it from you, and especially when we went away to Australia. Jessie wrote this really lovely like letter, and at the end of it was like, hopefully we can maybe have a family by the end of the year.
Yeah, and then he held on to the letter like everything.
I was like, manifest! I was like, manifest it!
He literally walks around with the letter all the time in the house. It's really cute.
Okay, and then number 2. This is nice.
This is nice, yeah.
This is a little bit couple therapy. We hope you're all enjoying it. What was our most romantic date?
That first one we went on in the Love Island villa was extremely romantic. I was still I was still be gobsmacked by that. Do you remember all the candles?
Okay, the setting was romantic. I don't feel like the chat was organic.
No, it's scary doing the chat on Love Island. Yeah, because, you know, when people like watch Love Island and the dates and stuff, and they'd be like, oh, she's not that into him. Babe, it's because I've got 10 people around me listen to me repeat 10 times how much I like him. Like, I just felt awkward in that setting. But I did still think that was a really romantic date, because even like times in between the sets where we actually got to spend a little bit more time together and bond, like things when we were getting our microphones on.
Yeah.
That was the first time we kind of had alone to us. So that will always be in my mind.
I agree with that. And then what people actually don't talk about with Love Island, so there's never in our life again probably me and Jessie gonna go to a date where we both have no idea what we're doing for the date. So do you know what I mean? It's like complete random. So we're like getting driven, separate cars, cars, you're like looking out the window, you're thinking, what the hell is happening? And then you walk in and you see this room just light up with candles and you're both just so surprised as each other.
Yeah, that like really gobsmacked me. And obviously I felt really grateful to be there in that situation with you. But our in real life most romantic date would have to be in the Maldives when we had a whole like private beach on that little island, and we had a picnic on an island with literally no one else except me and Will, and we got to watch the sunset. That was beautiful.
Yeah, that was really beautiful. One of my favorite romantic dates was when we went to Paris, and me and Jessie were like being cute. We had like a picnic. We had a bottle of Prosecco. We were going to sit on the grass. We were just going to have this most romantic day. And it was dark at this time, and we were walking past the Eiffel Tower. Do you remember? We were walking past the Eiffel Tower, and Jessie was like, "Oh, can you take a little clip of me?" This happened by chance. We had no idea this was going to happen. But as soon as I like played the video, the light started coming on, and we had no idea that was going to happen. And it was just such a lovely moment. And then obviously, luckily we got it on camera as well.
No, it was so beautiful. And that was our first trip away together. And that was for your birthday. Do you remember when I surprised you with the trip to Paris for your birthday? How like excited you were? Because like we've obviously traveled so much now, but back then you'd never gone to Paris. That was so cute.
I was a little boy at heart. I loved it. It was awesome.
That was awesome. I love seeing you at Disneyland.
Oh my God, yeah. Don't even get me started on Disneyland. That's why I'm like, let's get your family down. Get Stella down here so we can get her to Disneyland. Okay, that was so we're only going to do 2 questions, but that was a nice little reminisce.
That is really sweet.
Wasn't it? Reminiscent. Maybe we will take these home and play them in our own time.
Moving on to our agree to disagree quick fire questions of the week, starting on men and women should take turns driving.
Agree. Strongly agree.
Disagree for selfish reasons.
Yeah, Jessie definitely disagrees with this. However, I even said that on this 4 hour. I was like, oh, do you want me to pull over so you can drive for a bit and I can just chill? And then she just said, no.
Okay,
that's for boys only.
I find driving scary. And when we were looking at all the other cars driving past us on our 4-hour car journey, it was older men driving.
Yeah, that's true.
I think men do a great job at driving.
Driving's scary, is it?
Yeah.
But it's not scary if her nail appointment is an hour away. She's more than happy to get in a car and drive to that.
No.
That's true. That's a true story.
Do you know I drive there in terror?
Oh, yeah.
I actually do. And I was watching other people on the road and it's terrifying. But realistically, I mean, there's no reason men and women can't share driving. But I like it when my boyfriend drives.
Yeah, but then, same with like my parents. My dad will always drive and my mum will always sleep. And he's like, what the hell? Like, this isn't fun for him at all. But I can only speak from Jessie's point of view because I know how she drives. She probably does need a little bit more practice. So from that point of view.
Not in Tasmania when I drive at home, but in the UK.
Yeah, Tasmania, in
that big beast of a car we have, I do need more practice.
Tasmania, you're fine. So in Tasmania, I would be the passenger seat princess. But in the UK, I think you're okay.
Yeah.
Should Love Island do an All-Stars next year?
I quite enjoyed All-Stars by the end. At the start, I was kind of like, meh. But then I was like, it was juicy.
I want to throw a spanner in the plan, if that's the saying. But imagine an All-Stars, UK, USA, Australia, an All-Stars. The champions of champions.
Yeah, I feel like if they keep doing the UK one, they might run out of cast.
They have to. I'm sure there will be a cross section of like the champions of champions all in one villa from the different countries.
Well, they have the Love Island games, but that is more like they have to actually do challenge games against each other or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Love Island All-Stars was good. It was juicy. The tea was juicy. Waking up at 5 a.m. and being a part of the 5 a.m. club is worth it.
It's a scam. It's not even real. All it does for me, it makes me tired by like 8 p.m. I'm like falling asleep. If you're talking about the 5 a.m. gym club, it makes me hungry all the time during the day. And I don't really know what benefit it has, like having the 5 a.m. start or doing it in the evening.
Yeah, I feel like especially in the UK in wintertime when it doesn't get light till like 7:30 a.m., it just feels like you've got more nighttime. Do you know what I mean? Like it's nighttime in the morning because there's no sun.
But I do feel the benefits. I do feel generally more productive Now I'm getting up at 5 and going to the gym and then having the whole day.
I kind of agree and disagree because, yeah, I feel productive, but only for the first 5 hours of my day. And then my energy levels just plummet and I just want to eat chocolate because I've got no energy. I just feel like for me, it backfires. Like, I'm like a 7 a.m. girly.
And you take naps.
I do take naps, because I get tired. And then after my nap, I feel all groggy.
Which leads me in beautifully to adults who take daytime naps could have bigger brains.
Oh, well, that's it. I've got a bigger brain.
Do you agree or disagree?
I honestly feel like that could be true.
I don't. I feel like every time I go for a nap, it fucking ruins me. I'll go for a nap. I'll be like, 20 minutes, no problem. 2 hours later, because I'm like half awake, half asleep, like turning off my alarms all the time. And then I feel like I've just wasted 2 hours. Like you said, I wake up groggy. I don't wake up feeling good. I wake up hungry and more tired.
Yeah, I feel like we've got a sleep issue at the moment, which doesn't make sense because we've been going to sleep at 9 o'clock and waking up at 5. So why aren't we feeling energized?
I do.
Why do we need naps? You do.
I've not been partaking in these naps.
No, you've been complaining that you're tired.
I've been a little bit tired, but I've not been partaking in these naps.
Well, I feel tired 24/7 at the moment. Not easy. It's not an easy life. I give up on the 5 a.m. club. Anyone that wishes to try it, good luck.
Jessie has actually.
It's not from me.
Jessie has given up on the 5 a.m. club.
Yeah, I'm going to say like 6 a.m. I think 6 a.m. is optimal.
Today, everyone ask yourself, who went to the gym this morning?
Will.
Me. Did Jessie? No.
Yeah, because I didn't want to spend the whole day tired and hungry. Exhausted. I'm about balance.
You got the invitation to the 5 a.m. club and then you've just ruined it.
Yeah, I have. I stayed in bed and I got to steal your pillow. I don't know why. Whenever you get out of bed earlier than me, I love crawling over to your side and sleeping on your side.
You do.
It's like an excursion. Like, gonna go over here now. Our last agree to disagree quickfire question of this week is dogs sleeping on beds.
Sold.
It's not for me.
Sold. Done it. Do it 10 times over. I'll do it tomorrow if Jessie let me.
Well, we don't have a dog.
Yeah, I know, but the first job would be getting a dog. Then the second job would be then letting it sleep on bed. There was nothing I loved more when I was at home growing up, and then the family dogs would come up on the bed and snuggle by me, and I would have cuddles and just feel like I was like the most loved boy in the world.
Aw. When I was younger, I used to let my dog sleep on my bed, Eddie. But I just feel like I've not had a bond with another dog as much as Eddie.
You catfished me. Jessie, I thought was a dog lover. How wrong was I?
I do like dogs.
She doesn't like smelly dogs, so any of our dogs back home get a big X.
No, I love your dogs. Except Margot, because she farts all the time. But I still love her and give her attention. No, when I was a kid, I actually got bit on my face under my eye by a dog. So I get really scared if they jump up. And dogs always jump up on me. So I do get a bit scared because I'm like, yeah, don't bite my eye.
I'm still waiting for the day that Jessie's going to let us get a dog, a family dog, and I will force her to love the dogs jumping up on the bed.
I will love the dogs.
No, but jumping on the bed and letting them sleep with us.
It depends what type of dog they are and if they're like got poo on them and stuff.
When we become a family and have children and dogs, then Jessie will see the vision I have.
I would love like a little sausage dog. So you can feel free.
No,
my birthday's in September.
I'm not having a sausage dog.
My God. This is something we agree to disagree on.
I'm having a golden retriever.
Oh, golden retrievers are cute. I could do a golden retriever.
I'm having a golden retriever. And that's all that we've got time for today. I know we spoke quite a little bit serious today with the vaping. But honestly, if you do want any help or any advice or just a general chit chat, please do message us on either Instagram or you can email in, whatever you prefer. And we can go on this journey together.
But once again, thank you so much for tuning in and watching or listening. We really appreciate everybody who takes the time to listen to us each week.
So remember, please do click the little subscribe and notification button. And we'll see you next week, little lovely people.
Love ya. Bye.